God damn, it's already 10 o'clock. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the video. I don't know if it's just me, but every time I sleep in a hotel room, I have the best sleep ever. Like, I could sleep all day. Why is that?
I don't know, I feel like when you travel, you're just so exhausted.
I think it's just probably the AC is really high in hotel rooms. Either way, I'm feeling very well rested today. It's gonna be a good day. Alright, so by now most of y'all have heard the story of our first date. In case you haven't, here's a quick recap. We met at the gym, then we matched on Bumble, then Julia flaked on our first date.
I'm never going to live that down.
Probably not. But then she reached back out and was like, actually, I want to go on a date with you. We had an amazing first date, but here's the thing. Most of y'all don't know what happened after that. So for breakfast, we're at my favorite old school diner slash brunch spot from back in the day. It's called Busy Bee.
Yeah, he never took me here when we were living here.
I used to take all my other girls here. I went with my old favorite French toast and bacon. I have this mini little orange juice, and I'm gonna steal Julia's potatoes.
So when David's cutting, he actually lets me have some of his extra food, but when he's bulking, he's like, don't touch it, you can't have any.
You see this right here? This is off limits. This is David's
I
property.
can't even try it.
So about 3 or 4 days after our first date, we met up for a second date, actually at that Starbucks right there. We had a coffee, then we went across the street to the gym that's right there, and Julia finished her workout and left without saying bye to me.
I feel like these are all the way you remember it. I remember it a little bit differently.
Did you say bye to me?
Okay, no, but I didn't think of it as like really a date.
Well, then 3 or 4 days after that, we met up for our second or our third date, I guess, depending what you qualify as a date. And we actually met at that corner there. It's called Sweet Green. It has like salads and bowls.
And he paid for my meal.
And then we went back to my place for a little bit of Netflix and chill.
No, we didn't. We didn't Netflix and chill.
We did. And after that third date, I offered to walk her home.
Yeah, it took him 3 dates to walk me home.
And when I walked her home, I found out that she lived in that building right behind us there. And I knew that she lived close to where I was living, but she told me, but I didn't realize how fucking close it was. Like, it was this close. Y'all see that apartment building right there? That's where I was living at the time, and that is approximately a 6-minute walk from Julia's old place.
Dangerously close.
It was dangerous, bro. Not because I thought I was gonna get hit by a bus or something on the walk over, but because every time we hung out, we'd be like, you know what, maybe I'll see you next week or something.
Yeah, we were super busy and we were just like gonna figure it out in the next week.
But then inevitably at like 7 p.m., I would get a text message like this, and then I would be like this, and I would get another message back like this. And before you know it, we were probably hanging out like 4 or 5 nights every single week. And you gotta realize that at this time, I was starting to see some momentum with How to Beast, and I was super focused on building my business. So the last thing I wanted was to invest a bunch of time and energy into having a girlfriend.
And I had just gotten out of a 5-year relationship. The last thing I was looking for was a boyfriend.
But when you start to spend so much time with somebody...
And the Netflix and chill is so good.
Yeah, it was some of the best Netflix of my life. It's just human nature to start to develop an emotional connection to the person. So after like 2 or 3 months of hanging out, we had to sit down and have that conversation about what are we, where are we going,
what do we want,
and we came to a very unique agreement.
CBA, never said, I've been on my grind for 7 days. Need a race, swear to God I'll never be the same. TBH, TBA.
All right, babe, I'll see you at the gym. I gotta go take care of some business. Now that my YouTube channel's grown a lot, and I know that like thousands of people are gonna be seeing me every single week, it's really forced me to take my appearance to the next level. And that's one reason that I manscape at least once or twice per week. And honestly, this is something I wish I started doing before YouTube, and I think all of y'all should do it too, because not only does it make you look more jacked, but it makes you look better with clothes on too. Like if you're wearing a button-down shirt and a bunch of hair is coming out of the top, that's kind of gross. Or even if you're just wearing a white t-shirt and you can see all those curly hairs underneath it, it's gonna be a turnoff. And that's why I decided to partner with Manscaped to be the sponsor of today's video. Their Lawnmower 2.0 razor is straight up the best tool for the job. It's small and compact, so you can easily throw it in your suitcase when you're traveling. Plus, it works amazingly. Like, it has this 6,000 RPM motor and a special ceramic blade, so it can get a really close trim without leaving any nicks or ingrown hairs. Even when you're trimming down there, like, you can actually safely trim your balls with this. Honestly, man, I could not live without this thing anymore. And the good news is, because Manscaped's sponsoring the video today, you can use my coupon code to get a dope discount if you decide to pick one of these bad boys up. Just click that first link in description. Today's the first time in a long time that I'm gonna be squatting barefoot, because I only brought my Ultra Boost with me on this trip. And in case you're not aware, you never ever want to squat in running shoes that have like big cushiony soles on them, because it creates instability when you have like 200, 300 pounds on your back, and that's going to create inefficiencies. Like, you're not going to be transferring all of your force through the floor, so you're going to be weaker. Plus, if you got a little instability on one side, you could like roll your ankle, and that would be ugly, bro. Anyway, today we're going 355 pounds for 5 sets of 5. If we get this, it will be a PR. Another week, another 5 pounds. I will say that barefoot does not feel as good, but we still got it. So check it out. I do not remember which one of us brought up the fact that we had to have a talk, but I can tell you that every single time I've had this type of talk with a girl in the past, it's gone the same way. And she's been like, I want you to be my boyfriend so that I can tell all my friends and family that you're my boyfriend. And that's not how it went down with Julia.
Yeah, it was like, I told David, you know, I love hanging out with you, you're awesome, but I really want an open relationship and I want to be able to see other people.
My initial reaction to this was, damn bro, this is amazing. I get to keep hooking up with this girl who I really like, and at the same time I can meet and date other girls. But also, it definitely kind of made me want her a little bit more, just because like that's how human psychology works. Anyway, we agreed on the open relationship, and over the next few months I met and was hanging out with like 2 or 3 other girls probably.
Yeah, and that was the same for me. I was seeing other guys.
And then we got to this like breaking point where clearly we had developed even more feelings for each other, and the open relationship was starting to cause tension between us, because I kind of felt like I was just seeing other girls because I knew she was seeing other guys.
Yeah, same for me. Like when we were hanging out, I was so worried about who he was texting or who he was going to be seeing that night.
We were doing that thing where you put your phone face down so that the other person can't see who's texting you. And it was just so messy, man.
Yeah.
So we came to this like shitty decision that we're just gonna stop hanging out and stop seeing each other, because there's no way that this relationship is gonna end well.
Damn, I've been on my grind just like a skater. Hop up on the mic, yeah, I'm creative. Catch a vibe, I catch a vibe. I'm on a beat like it's a crime, yeah, it's a crime. I'm always working overtime.
Looking good, man.
How you doing, bro? How have you been?
Good, man.
Julia went to get dinner with her cousins, so I'm doing something a little better. I got the OG Rashil right here.
What's up?
We lived together, freshman year in college. We lived together for a year after we graduated. You're like one of my only 2 or 3 bros left in Boston.
It's sad.
It's sad. So Rasheal was actually there when I filmed my very first YouTube video. How ugly was that?
It's pretty terrible. You had all those lights, the white background. It was like a movie set, but done really poorly.
Yeah, I bought this like massive white background to go behind me, and honestly, I never figured how to actually set it up. If you're bulking at Chipotle, you have to order a bowl, and then you ask them for some of these tortillas on the side. They're free, even though they're like 100 calories each, and then basically, you just take your Chipotle, and you make your own little tacos in there. Dude, Chipotle's a lot better than I remember. I feel like I'm gonna have to start going down to Texas. Hey there, Julia.
Hey, David.
So, after a couple weeks of not seeing each other, one day I had a moment of weakness and I sent Julie a text, and it just so happened that she was walking down my street.
Oh my God, I was taking my dog for a walk. I wasn't stalking him.
Sure. Either way, we ended up having a little talk, then we hung out that night and talked some more, and that space that we gave each other, it made me realize that I really wanted to be with you.
Yeah, the time gave me clarity, and I realized that he was the person that I actually wanted to be with.
And looking back, obviously I'm super happy this happened because this is an amazing relationship, by far the best relationship I've ever been in.
Both really in love with each other.
But there's a few lessons that I learned that I want to share with y'all. First of all, I don't know that open relationships are possible. There's just so many feelings that naturally happen between people that at least for us, it wasn't possible. But there was a benefit to us doing it. We gave the relationship so much space to grow without putting a lot of pressure on it. And we both gave ourselves the freedom, like, look, this is working out well, but we can go see what else is out there. And because we did that, I feel like now I have no temptation or desire at all.
We don't feel trapped. We feel like
Yeah.
it's like a really healthy relationship.
Exactly. So for all y'all watching out there, here is my best advice to you when it comes to finding yourself a girlfriend or a boyfriend. Do not rush it. If you find yourself wanting to make some girl that you just met your girlfriend, it's not because she's the one, man. It's because you have some insecurity and you feel like having a girlfriend is going to make you feel better about yourself. Instead, the rule that I always had for myself is never bring it up. Always leave it for the girl to bring up, because she's going to bring it up when she's ready. And if she brings it up after like 2 weeks or even a month, then it's probably just an insecurity on her part, and she's looking to have a boyfriend. It's not even about you. She just wants a boyfriend to feel complete. And in my opinion, that's a red flag. You should be able to be secure enough in yourself that you can kind of casually date someone for 2 or 3 months and actually find out who they are, and if you want to keep doing it before you make that commitment.
Yeah, so many people make the mistake of rushing into relationships without really getting to know the person. So after 3 or 4 weeks, shit hits the fan and you're like, oh my God, who is this person I'm dating? I don't connect with them. And then you get in really bad breakups.
Exactly. Like, we didn't do it perfectly. We definitely made our mistakes.
Yeah.
But at least we got that part of it right.
Hi, David.
Hi. Anyway, bro, that is going to be the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you made it to the end, give it a thumbs up. If you are new to the channel, click subscribe and turn notifications on, because I drop new videos every Monday and every Thursday, and you don't want to miss them. I will talk to you in the next video. Stay beastly.
Take